Hey, Pat Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I want to talk with you about choosing one target market. Let's get to it.
Welcome to the Fitness Business School podcast, the show for fitness business owners who want to grow their income, increase their impact, and improve their lifestyle. Be sure to listen till the end of this episode because we have a brand new special offer exclusive for listeners. So stay tuned.
When you talk to early stage business owners or maybe even business owners who've kind of been stuck at a plateau, all too often the common challenge is their marketing's really watered down. They don't speak to any one person in a way that's really attractive to them. They try to be all things to all people, and in turn, they're never really the best thing for any one audience. So what I wanted to talk through today is the power of choosing one single target market. Because if you choose a single target market, you can craft a message to that person. You know where to find that person. And most importantly, you can become the best possible solution for that person. Now, depending on if we're talking about a local business or an online business, the way that we approach this may vary a little bit, but the concept is still the same. So we'll start with the offline world, the local business world. Well, when we're choosing a target market, the first thing that we have to appreciate is we're bound by geography, because the type of people that we work with in the fitness or sports performance industry, we rely on frequency. We rely on them coming in with some degree of frequency to our facility. Maybe that's twice a week, maybe it's 3 times a week. I mean, depending on the possibility that maybe you work in like skill development in sports, maybe it's once a week, but it still has to be close enough that somebody can execute your plan with some consistency. So if you're choosing your target market, that's the first thing that we need to do. We need to basically draw a radius around where somebody can conveniently get to us with the frequency that we need to get them the outcome that they want. And if we're in a densely populated market where there's a lot of competition, we may even want to narrow that a little bit more, because the likelihood of us getting somebody to drive past a dozen competitors to reach us certainly goes down. They have other things that are more convenient to them. So first thing we want to think about is that proximity. And once we have the proximity component in place, we need to think about the outcome they want, the desire that they have, the thing they're trying to achieve. Because let's face it, people come to us for an outcome. They want to solve problems, they want to pursue or reach goals, and that's what we're here to help them do. So we want to think about who we are great at serving, who we can really work hand in hand with to take them from where they are to where they want to be. And that could be solving a problem, alleviating back pain or losing weight, or it could be pursuing a goal, throwing a baseball harder, sprinting faster. So when we're thinking about the second component of who our target market is, let's focus on the desire they have. So many people get caught up in demographics. They get caught up in, well, hey, this person has this kind of household income, or we work with people who are over this age and have this kind of lifestyle or whatever else. I'm like, well, they actually have to want a change. They have to want an outcome. I remember telling the story any number of times, right? So in our previous house, when we moved in, our next door neighbor was one of the original founders of Long John Silver's. If you're not familiar with Long John Silver's, it was a fast food restaurant that kind of had its heyday in the 70s. They grew to well over 1,000 locations. And obviously, he was a pretty well-to-do guy. And in fact, in his kind of semi-retirement stage, he still owned like 55 Wendy's. So he had done quite well for himself. And so from a demographic standpoint, man, he was somebody's ideal client, right? In the fitness industry, he was that person who, at the time, he was in his 60s. He had a really significant net worth. He had some time on his hands. He was an empty nester, so he was somebody that could certainly get to and from a facility conveniently. But he didn't have the desire. He had no interest in going to work out. He had no interest in fitness at all. So it doesn't really matter if somebody checks all the boxes from a demographic standpoint until they have that kind of desire. Now, on the flip side of that, I've seen so many clients come in that had pretty limited means, but something was so deeply important to them that they found a way, right? They picked up a second job to pay for something. They worked overtime to pay for something. They cut a bunch of other expenses because it was a priority for them. So keep in mind that once we get past the convenience factor, the fact that somebody can actually be there frequently enough to execute the plan, well, they have to want the outcome. They have to want to change. They have to accept that they're going to have to do something different to get from where they are to where they want to be. And then next up, we want to be perceived as a specialist. So that means the more we can target our marketing and our messaging to speak to that specific type of person, not only that has that desire, but if we can say, hey, I'm going to work with 50 and over people who live in Middletown, Kentucky, who want to lose weight, look better, kind of slow the hands of time, so to speak. That person, we can speak to them. We can speak to their stage of life. We can use social proof or pictures of people that resonate with them. So once we get through those first two steps, then we can start to talk about narrowing by age, narrowing by gender or stage of life or career or specific income variables depending on our price point. Because let's face it, somebody has to have the means to do what we want to do with them. It's considered kind of, it's not a necessity. We may perceive it as a necessity, but we're not going to supersede paying their mortgage or paying their car payment or something like that. In the whole hierarchy of things, we want to fall just right after the actual necessities that they perceive that they have. So we want to make sure that we're selling something that fits in that kind of budget. So we want to make sure that, hey, if we're going to sell somebody private or semi-private or small group training and we're going to charge a premium price point, sure, it makes more sense. Even if somebody would pick up extra shifts or work overtime or get a different job to pay for it, that's not going to be our ideal client. They're going to be the outlier. We want to have somebody that has the means to pay for the things that we want. Because if we combine all these components, the fact that somebody can use what we offer consistently enough to get the outcome that they want, that gives them a fighting chance to get the result they're looking for, the whole reason they're coming to us. And if we can align our message with being really good at helping somebody get from point A to point B, getting the result that they want, that dream come true result. And then we target the demographic. We target those variables where somebody can look in the mirror and say, you know what, that owner, that business, they're speaking directly to me. I am a fit there. I'm going to find other people like me. The people that they're showing in their case studies, their social proof, when they came, they were in the same situation I'm in right now, and look at the results they got. And then finally, they have the means. They have the ability to buy and it not be a struggle every month. They're not trying to make sure that your withdrawal from their account syncs up with whenever the deposit is made. If you get those things put together, you're going to be so much more effective with marketing, because so many people try to just cast this incredibly wide net and they don't speak to any one person. They don't talk about any one specific desire. They try to talk about everything. The better you can be a specialist, the more you can solve a specific problem, the more effective you're going to be, the more your marketing is going to stand out. And in a landscape where there's more competition than ever before, we need to stand out. We need to be kind of magnetically attractive to the people that we want to serve. We need to be able to kind of transcend all the franchises that have come into the market and that all kind of play on, hey, this is our program. Well, no, let's talk about the person instead of the program, because if we can speak to that person and help them understand how we can be that guide on their journey to reach their goals, to achieve their outcomes that they so deeply desire, we're going to have a lot of success as a business. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fitness Business School. Before you go, I have a quick announcement. One of the things that we've been doing with our current clients is taking them through this ideal business diagnostic. And really what it is this checklist that allows you to pinpoint exactly what your business needs next so you can keep improving, keep growing, and build a business that you love to own. One that pays you well, one that allows you to have the impact you want to have, and one that allows you to have a lifestyle that you truly enjoy. In this diagnostic, we walk through everything and we do an evaluation and can instantly pinpoint what you need to do next to build that business that you want. I'm going to extend this opportunity to get on with either me or my team and take you through this evaluation and fix your business's most vital needs fast. So if we take you through this, you're going to be able to make those vital changes that you need to finally have what I call your ideal business. If you'd be interested in going through this entirely free, risk-free diagnostic with us and learn what you already have in place, what you're doing well, and where your greatest opportunities for rapid improvement are, just shoot me an email with diagnostic in the subject line to pat@patrigsby.com. Again, an email to pat@patrigsby.com with diagnostic in the subject line will get you scheduled and take you through this evaluation to help you build the business you want.